Tonight from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is Concacaf Nations League action from Arnos Vale Sporting Complex. It's St. Vincent and the Grenadines taking on El Salvador. I'm Josh Eastern, glad to be with you here tonight. The third match day of Nations League here in this new edition of the competition that started back in September. A comfortable evening, 77 degrees, a light breeze, and really a low chance of rain this evening. Well, so far in League B and Group A, it has been El Salvador. They are the favorites coming into this competition in this group, and they have shown that already through one match day. The full complement of 6 points after a couple of wins so far for El Salvador against Montserrat and against Bonaire. Montserrat and Bonaire played earlier today, and it was Montserrat getting the 1-0 advantage. So coming into play today, it is the first of two matches between El Salvador and St. Vincent and the Grenadines over this October international window. The teams will finish off with matchups against Bonaire and Montserrat in the November window. But right now, it is El Salvador in command of this group. They are looking for promotion back to League A and qualification for the Gold Cup. This is an El Salvador team that has put in some good performances over the last few years in qualification for the 2022 World Cup. They got into that final 8, the last round of World Cup qualifying. They put up a good fight, but in the end could not advance on. But this is a team that has been at every Gold Cup since 2007, making the quarterfinals in 2021 under Hugo Perez, and now they are looking to continue on and try to make some noise ahead of 2026. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are looking to spring an upset here today at home before the return fixture, if you will, which will be in just a couple of days on October 13th. The players are taking to the field here tonight. This is the second matchup between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and El Salvador here in Kingstown this year. It was a 3-1 win for El Salvador back in World Cup qualifying in June, as both these teams are in the same World Cup qualifying group and now in the same group here in CONCACAF Nations League. So we should be in for a good one tonight between El Salvador and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A perfect evening for some Nations League action in League B and Group A. We'll hear the national anthems of both sides, and we'll build you up to first kick tonight from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Building you up to first kick tonight from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines in Arnos Vale Sporting Complex. The second matchup of 2024 already between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and El Salvador. A very comfortable evening for some soccer, and we are excited to bring it to you right now. Let's chance to look at tonight's starting lineups. And this is for Coach Ezra Hendrickson, the former Chicago Fire head coach. He makes just one change into the starting lineup. It will be Jamal York coming out of the lineup, and it will be Joseph Barter coming into the lineup. That is out of that 2-0 win against Montserrat last time out. 3 goal scorers in the lineup: Cornelius Stewart, Stephen Pierre, and DL Spring. Very experienced officials tonight. The 3 on-field officials from Jamaica. Trisley Basu will be the 4th official from St. Kitts and Nevis. The man in the middle with the whistle is O'Shane Nation. He has taken charge of many big games in Concacaf in his career. The captains, 2 of the all-time leaders in caps for their respective nations. That is Olex Anderson and Darwin Seren. The all-time leader for caps for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not wearing the captain's armband today. That is Cornelius Stewart, although in the starting lineup. Final handshakes, exchanging of the pennants as well. And a photo op before first kick. Now it is the starting lineup for El Salvador, and David Doniga has made 6 changes from the last game in the September window. That was the 2-1 win against Bonaire. The spine of the team remains the same. Christian Martinez, Mario Gonzalez, Jorge Cruz all get the start again here today. Just 1 goal scorer in the starting lineup so far from Nations League. It is Teriso Benitez, who scored his first international goal back in September. With that, we are just about set for first kick here tonight, and we are eagerly anticipating this one tonight from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Both teams in their familiar colors. El Salvador will be in blue, St. Vincent and the Grenadines in yellow. The teams will have to switch ends here before we can get started. Doniga is the 2nd coach already since Hugo Perez left the team in 2023. Doniga was hired back in January. Just waiting for the top of the hour, and we can get things started tonight from Kingstown. There is the whistle, and we are underway tonight from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The first of 2 over the next few days between St. Vincent and the Grenadines and El Salvador. It has been a perfect start to life in League B for El Salvador. Not necessarily where they want to be in the grand scheme of things in CONCACAF, but this is where they are, and they are putting on some good performances thus far. 4 goals in the 4-1 win against Montserrat to start it all off back on September 5th. Then a few days later, a 2-1 win over Bonaire. And that has them at 6 points, a couple of wins coming into match day number 3 here this evening. It's a team, El Salvador, that started off in League B, earned promotion immediately after the first edition of Nations League, spent the last 2 editions of Nations League in League A before being relegated last time out. Sliding challenge to put this out of play, and a throw-in coming early on for La Selecta. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not quite the same luck as El Salvador through the first 2 match days. Battled to a 1-1 draw against Bonaire on match day 1. Match day 2 was a clean sheet, a couple of goals as well in the 2-0 win against Montserrat. This This is played upfield, collected in by Jorge Cruz, and all the way back to Mario Gonzalez, who has been the #1 goalkeeper for El Salvador now for a few years, as the flag is up for offside. Gonzalez, the 27-year-old, earning his 40th cap tonight, plays for Alianza domestically in El Salvador. Some contact there, no whistle from O'Shane Nation. Played down the line and eventually out of play. Chevron McLean will throw this back in play. Broken up in the middle, there's Darwin Seren, one of the more experienced players on this El Salvador side. Earning his 94th cap tonight. He scored 5 goals in his international career. Played through the middle, and now maybe something on here for El Salvador. Chance to hit this from distance, and nothing doing for Steven Vasquez, the 21-year-old. Plays domestically in El Salvador as well for Firpo. Has scored once, has Vasquez, in his international career. Lemus Christopher gets another start today for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's now started all 3 Nations League fixtures here in the 2024-25 edition. Looking to roll this forward. And now the switch of play as it comes back through. Lopped it back upfield and taken in by Julio Cibrian. For St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's pretty much the same roster that we saw in the September window. For El Salvador, it is 6 changes into the starting lineup tonight. A few new faces into the squad that were not part of the squad back in September. David Doniga really wanting to see what this whole player pool is made of. A manager who was hired back in January. And this is an El Salvador side that is still trying to now kind of find itself. It was Doniga who took over for Ruben de la Barrera, who took charge of this El Salvador team for just a couple of months before getting a job with Vizela in Portugal. Now 2 straight Spaniards as managers of El Salvador now, with de la Barrera and now Doniga. There is David Doniga, a 43-year-old Spaniard. Took charge of San Miguelito in Panama before being hired here with El Salvador as an assistant coach with the Panama national team, along with the Panama under-23s as well in 2021 through 23. A very experienced assistant coach, Doniga, in his career. Now here comes St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Haven't really been able to get much possession here early on, but now they do win it back in a good area. The cross coming in, dealt with in the middle, and cleared away. That ball coming in from Bishan Richards, the 21-year-old. Good experience of youth and veteran leadership on this St. Vincent and the Grenadines side. Trying to play this down the line. It'll run all the way out of play, and a throw-in coming. battling for this loose ball, and just too much pressure there from Melvin Cartagena, and possession turned back over on the free kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Miss Christopher coming forward. Trying to play this forward and cleared away. That'll be out for a throw-in. There's a look at Ezra Hendrickson, the head man for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Was an assistant with the national team back in 2015 to 2018 while he was the head coach of Seattle Sounders 2. An assistant with the Galaxy and the Crew in Major League Soccer before getting a chance as head coach for about a season and a half with the Chicago Fire, and was hired back as head coach here with St. Vincent and the Grenadines earlier this year. Hendrickson, the 52-year-old from right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A long playing career as well in Major League Soccer.
Hold that space.
Some pressure there at the back and out of play. It'll be a throw-in back to El Salvador, and they want to go quickly, but it took a few too many yards there. El Salvador working down the line. This one cut back and now chipped over the top. Trying to make something happen here with Tejeda, and again, the flag is up for offside. El Salvador trying to get out on the front foot, but so far, the flag has denied them on a few occasions. Whistle here, and O'Shea Nation having to step in. It'll be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines now coming up. Trying to play this forward. Again, nothing on for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And La Selecta El Salvador will look to play it back the other way. Another throw-in coming for El Salvador. A bit of a slow start on both sides now. For the St. Vincent and the Grenadines side, they've been in League B now in every edition of this competition. Good defensive play there. Trying to tightrope walk the end line and then win a throw, and that's good work. The first edition, 3-1-2. The second edition, 0-4-2, but they did stay alive in League B. And the last edition, 3 wins, 3 losses. So right in the middle of the pack in the last 2. And now some players who play in some top leagues in the United States, in the USL Championship, the second division, a manager that is managed at the highest level in the United States as well. A big opportunity for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines side. even just to try to get into some of those qualifying Gold Cup prelim matches if they can finish in second place. It's deflected out of play. Another throw-in going El Salvador's way. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines side is ranked 174th in the FIFA rankings. El Salvador is ranked 80th. So El Salvador should be considered the heavy favorites coming into play here tonight and in this group overall. Saran trying to play it through the lines. El Salvador will look to reset here. El Salvador was actually outshot in the game against Bonaire 10-8, even on their home field. They went up 2-0 in that game before a late goal from Bonaire in stoppage, second half stoppage time to grab a goal in that game. You go back to the game against Montserrat, that's when they had a bit more control, 62% of the ball, 14-4 in terms of shots. And this is coming towards goal and headed away. It'll be out for a throw-in. St. Vincent and the Grenadines trying to get things going here. So far just one shot. It came from El Salvador and it was nowhere near goal. Throwing towards the edge of the area. Trying to find space. It's moved back out wide. McLean. Cornelius Stewart looking to weave through. Anderson getting end line. This runs out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Olex Anderson, the captain tonight for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, is enjoying a great season with North Carolina FC in the USL Championship. So far, 10 goals and 3 assists in 27 appearances. And now El Salvador will look to play out from the back. Oh, a bad deflection, and maybe something on here for El Salvador. The shot's on target, but saved. Tejada had the opportunity there for El Salvador, and now it comes back the other way with Olex Anderson. Sliding challenge put in, he hops over it. Chipped up back post. And the header out of play. It's out for the game's first corner kick. It comes for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A chance back the other way. It was a bad deflection. Lemos Christopher able to make the save, and then Olex Anderson just chipping it up towards the back post. Corner's played short. The cross comes in. The deflection takes it away from danger. And out for another throw-in. Now a player down and a stoppage. Trainers forced to come onto the field here for El Salvador. That is Christian Martinez, the 30-year-old. Martinez, who plays for Cartagines in Costa Rica, has played there now for about 2.5 seasons. Martinez being checked on here. Looks like he might have some blood on his face. It'll be a throw-in back for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as they get it rolling again. Another ball that ends up out of play, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they've had a few opportunities going forward, but it's been a bit of a fractured first 18 minutes, I think it's fair to say, for both sides. Alex Anderson, I think, being forced to take a couple of steps back before play can be resumed. And now good to go again. Chipped up over the top, bouncing once. The header forward. And moved out wide, a fancy outside of the boot pass. But it cannot be kept in play there on the far side. And it will be a throw-in on the way for El Salvador, which they take quickly. Salvador wanted to play this possession-based style, which makes sense coming from a Spanish manager, but they turn it over here. The cross comes in. It's Anderson off his chest. The back heel pass off the mark and intercepted. I love the flair that Anderson plays with. It was really the only chance he had on that play. Cut infield and now moved down the line. Here's Cartagena. The early ball in, the heads go up. It's headed away by Brandon John. Still available at the top of the area. It slipped through for the run. Chip towards the back post, and there's the goal. El Salvador on the board first. That is a great run of play. It's Steven Vasquez at the back post to finish it off. All the hard work from Darwin Seren, and it's 1-0 El Salvador. Great work from La Selecta as they move it down the right. Darwin Seren doing all the hard work. Look at this great vision on the pass as well from Rafael Tejeda. And then tapped in at the back post. Seren put it right where it needed to be. Had the whereabouts just to chip that up to the back post instead of trying to go for goal himself. And that really worked in El Salvador's favor. And now they are the team that will play from in front tonight. Vasquez, his second international goal, this being his 12th cap. And a great start for El Salvador. They hadn't had maybe the best start, the start that they were looking for, with a 21-year-old who plays for Firpo in El Salvador, able to get on the board first. Played over the top towards the end line. A whistle here, and it looked like that came off a hand. We talked about the changes for El Salvador. They're without Emerson Mauricio, the 21-year-old who plays for Alianza. He scored twice in the last window, once in both games against Bonaire and Montserrat. He misses out on this window completely. Not even on the bench tonight for David Doniga. Throw in coming here in an attacking area. And this is played all the way back. Barter, his pass nearly intercepted. Cut out on the far side by Jorge Cruz. And now El Salvador looking to come back the other way. Broken up in the middle. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will get a throw in out of that sequence. A stoppage in play. O'Shea Nation will check things out here. And a player down is Rafael Tejada. Tejada back on his feet and good to continue on. Long throw in. St. Vincent the Grenadines keep it. McLean rolling it forward. McLean eventually touches this one out of play. It's the St. Vincent and the Grenadines side that has only reached the Gold Cup one time. That was back in 1996. It's been quite some time. Ezra Hendrickson was part of that team back in 96. They did go 0-2, playing 2 matches and not getting out of the group stage. Benitez for Cartagena. Vasquez moves it down the line. Cross is blocked out of play, and a corner kick coming for El Salvador. It's their first of the game. They're just touched into play short. Return ball and now moved up for Cartagena. Salvador looking to keep the ball, moved into the corner now. The cross played back post. Good header there to get it out of harm's way. Tristan Marshall there at the back post, the 20-year-olds. St. Vincent the Grenadines trying to make something happen back the other way. And oh, the AR goes down. Hopefully she's okay there on the far side. Stephanie Daley Singh. Looks like she is back on her feet. Salvador looking into the attack again. Looking to slip this one through. And again, the flag is up for offside. The timing just hasn't quite been there tonight for El Salvador. It all timed out well on the goal. I guess if you're David Doniga, you have to like what you've seen so far from your attack, but the offside flag has come up a few times. Christopher sends it upfield. Now El Salvador looking to play out again. For about 28 minutes, they've been the team on the front foot. 56% possession, 3 shots, 2 of them on target. Just 1 shot so far in the game for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here comes El Salvador again. Benitez rolling it forward. Benitez trying to get the return ball. He does to keep it alive for El Salvador. And they'll go again. Trying to move it ahead. Cartagena. He went down. The referee not convinced, and it's a goal kick. Now St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what can they make of this first half? Broken up by Benitez, and the catch by Mario Gonzalez in net. Nearly turned over. It's good work by Darren Seren to win possession back. Move down the line. Salvador, they have a real shot going through World Cup qualifying, a team that made it into the final round of World Cup qualifying in 2022, and they put up a very good fight. It just wasn't quite enough to get them where they wanted to go. A good opportunity against teams like the United States and Mexico. They finished 2-8-4, but they were very competitive in those matchups. Out of play, and now a throw-in coming for El Salvador in the attacking third here. El Salvador taking their time to put this back in play. All the way into the corner, Benitez. Benitez battling. A whistle here. And it looks like the player staying down for St. Vincent and the Grenadines is Dale Spring. And it will be a foul against El Salvador. It'll go back the other way. These goal kicks or free kicks from deep in the defensive half, St. Vincent and Grenadines have not been able to get possession back easily. First touch is almost always with El Salvador. It's been the second balls they've had to win. Alex Anderson, one of the most creative players on the fields. They got to get him the ball a little bit more. Also the likes of Cornelius Stewart. Moved ahead. Tejada stands it up, back post. The header down. It was Vasquez again. Vasquez with a heavy fall here, and he is shaken up. Vasquez, a hard fall. May have landed a little awkwardly on that left ankle. Ezra Hendrickson now. 33 minutes gone, a chance to talk things over with his side. Right now, they continue to search for something to go their way, as Vasquez still being treated here. David Doniga has to be decently pleased. They do have the goal that has them in front. But right now, their goal scorer may not be able to continue here. He is a sizable limp, and he came down quite awkward on that left ankle. So back to play. We'll see the status of Vasquez here momentarily, but would expect a substitution on the way. Just moved ahead. Trying to turn the corner. Nearly broken up. There's Stewart to get a shot away. More of a hopeful effort than anything. On the first time, he tried to curl that in that far post. Referee in conversation with Mario Gonzalez, looking for a soccer ball here. They have found one. And there is the sub. So that is the end of the night for the goal scorer, Steven Vasquez. The injury forces him off here in the first half. It's Francis Castillo who enters. The young 18-year-old, his third cap, plays for Cadiz in Spain. To move this forward now. It's Rafael Tejada. Tejada down the line. The cross coming in. There's nobody making the run in a blue shirt, and taken in by Lemos Christopher. Another free kick here. Castillo coming in, formerly with Philadelphia Union too, made one appearance in MLS Next Pro last year. Also had an assist, did Castillo, in his second cap against St. Vincent and the Grenadines back in June in World Cup qualifiers. 79 minutes in that game right here in Kingstown. Floated back the other way. Here comes El Salvador again, setting up for the shot. It's low and taken by Lemas Christopher. Quick distribution, intercepted, but then won right back by Chevron McLean. And back to Christopher in goal. Gonna work it down the line. Anderson. Challenge put in by Rudy Clavel. Referee has a decision to make here. If he wants to go to his pocket, he does. It's a yellow card. Clavel into the book. Kind of a rash challenge put in by Clavel. Now a free kick in a good area. I'm not sure he even touched him. And if he did, it was minimal. When you leave your feet, you leave your fate in the hands of the referee. Now the set piece opportunity. Cornelius Stewart stands over it. Stewart delivers, puts it in the mixer. Plenty of heads up for it. There's a player down in the area for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This ball ends up out of play. It'll be a throw-in coming. First, trainers will be coming onto the field. Another look at it here. Good ball in, just put it in a dangerous area. Looked like it was maybe off the chest of Tristan Marshall there in the middle. Good to go again, and a throw-in coming for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Chevron McLean is Marshall slow to walk off the field. Challenge put in again, and this thump back the other way as we're into the final 5 minutes before halftime. Should get a decent amount of stoppage time, a few stoppages for injury in this first half. Marshall will be coming back on the field here momentarily as a player for El Salvador down away from the ball. Play will continue on here as it's rolled forward. It's Olex Anderson going down, but it's a corner kick given, and now the trainer can come onto the field to check on the injured El Salvador player, which is Rudy Clavel, who just picked up a yellow card minutes ago. Good defensive play by Melvin Cartagena. A corner kick on the way for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, their second of the game. Still no shots on target, 3 total shots for the home side. Played up to the back post, it goes down and it's in! Brandon John It looked like he may have been the one to score for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Sneaks under the hands of Gonzalez, and we are level before the break. How about Brandon John coming up with a big goal for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the 29-year-old. Just his third international appearance for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He was battling there at the back post with Christian Martinez. Just went up to meet that ball. Probably expect a little bit better from Mario Gonzalez in the El Salvador defense. That is very well done by John. His first international goal. John, who played for Atletico Ottawa in the Canadian Premier League, Orlando City B, also with Tacoma Defiance, former Canadian under-20 player. But now here with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and so far so good. He's now played in all 3 matches in Nations League in this edition. Back into play. El Salvador, all of a sudden, they have bossed this game. And now it's back to square one, 1-1. You can see the disappointment of Ezra Hendrickson after that ball was turned over, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines win it back quickly. And here they come back the other way. Anderson trying to cut it in. Lays it off. Stewart trying to slide it forward. It's broken up and cleared away. Moved out wide. Chance to cross. Spring plays it towards the top of the area. Quick passing from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but Joseph couldn't get it back. Won back now by Spring and moves it out wide. So many of these St. Vincent and the Grenadines players want to go 1v1. So now we enter stoppage time. Stewart loses this one out of play. 3 minutes will be added on of additional time. Into the middle, and good work to get this out of harm's way. Down the line, sliding challenge to put it out of play. The throw-in coming for El Salvador. A little bit of energy has been injected back into this St. Vincent and the Grenadines side after getting things back on track with the equalizer. Another header out of play. It'll be a goal kick coming, or pardon me, a corner kick coming. Touched in short, and now rolled into the area. Quick shot from Benitez, blocked down. out wide, touched out of play, miscommunication between Seren and Benitez. Oh, it's a throw-in on the way. David Doniga now with something to talk about and some frustration from the Spanish manager. This was a El Salvador team that looked to be coasting through the first few minutes. And all of a sudden, St. Vincent the Grenadines has given them something to think about. It's not been the cleanest half for either side, I think it's fair to say. And that is the end of the first 45 minutes. And what a start it was for El Salvador, getting the early goal. But St. Vincent and the Grenadines have answered back. And with the top two teams in League B Group A, all of a sudden we have an interesting fixture going into the second half. We've reached the break from Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's St. Vincent and the Grenadines 1, El Salvador 1. Getting set for the second 45 minutes of action as we welcome you back to Kingstown, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Concacaf Nations League action. And it looks to be Jairo Enriquez coming onto the field for El Salvador. David Doniga was not too pleased with the end of that first half and making an alteration here before the break. Pardon me, before this end of the break as we get set to start this second half. I'm Josh Eastern, glad to be back with you. There's the whistle, and we are underway from Arnos Vale Sporting Complex. 45 more minutes. The top two teams in League B Group A going at it tonight. First of two matches between these two. Over the next couple of days, it will be Melvin Cartagena, who exits as well for El Salvador. El Salvador trying to lock in for this second 45 minutes. A draw wouldn't be the worst thing for them as they'll get the return game in a couple of days, but the way they played in that first half and based on just the rankings in FIFA between these two, El Salvador should be the heavy favorites. It's not always easy coming on the road as this ends up out of play. It's a goal kick. Vincent the Grenadines, though, they showed some grit in that first half, staying in the game, hung around, and eventually were able to find that equalizer on the corner kick. Floated forward. And now trying to make something happen here. Move down the line, and here comes Benitez. Looking in fields, blocked down. And it's a foul. Lunging challenge put in, and it will go back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines here. There's also a sub for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the end of the day for Bashawn Richards, and is the international debut for Shaq Adams. Adams, who has played quite a bit in the United States in the USL. He was born in Nashville, Tennessee, a 26-year-old earning his international debut here today. Last club he was with was North Carolina FC, currently not with a club at the moment. So this is good for Adams to get some game minutes. He'll get pretty much an entire half now. Some pressure here on Stewart. Stewart able to turn the corner and look in field. The cross coming in. The header away, and it was a needed header as well. Up out of play, and it's a throw-in now coming for El Salvador, a team that likes to be on the ball. They created a decent amount in that first half. They need more. Able to keep this play alive is Steven Pierre, a 19-year-old. Ends up out of play. Which direction is it going? It's going to El Salvador. El Salvador team, you know, will be the goal to get top spot in this group, try to qualify directly to the Gold Cup, not having to go through the preliminary matches. Always makes it difficult. Ezra Hendrickson, I'm sure he wants the same for his St. Vincent and the Grenadines side. Right now in the live standings, it'll be 7 points for El Salvador, 5 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. These teams will reconvene in El Salvador on Sunday, and then they'll take on Montserrat and Bonaire in the November window to set up the Gold Cup qualification. Long down the middle again. And it will end up being a turnover here. Stewart trying to turn the corner as it comes in field. Touched into space. The cross played to the back post area. Olex Anderson taken off the ball. Looked like that may have been a foul. Comes back in field. The cross sent towards goal by Stephen Pierre, and nothing doing. Play it down the line. Good soundtrack tonight at Arnos Vale Sporting Complex. Music in the background, the crowd has been into it. Ends up out of play, and another throw-in for El Salvador. Flipped up over the top. Enriquez looking in field. Enriquez, somehow that got all the way through. I think it surprised Francis Castillo as he couldn't keep that alive. And it's straight out of play. Another free kick going El Salvador's way. Have to move it back a few yards. Martinez will get it rolling again. Remember, it was 6 changes into the starting lineup tonight for El Salvador. Already had to make 2 changes, one due to injury, and the other the halftime sub with Enriquez coming on. Enriquez, who plays for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks in the USL Championship in the United States. Here comes St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's Stewart to put it in front. Oh, he couldn't finish. It's still alive, and it's a kick save. Surely it should have been 2-1, but Gonzalez with a tremendous stop. If you are St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you are saying, how does this not end up in the back of the net? Shaq Adams hasn't played a game in a long time, at least a professional game at that. It's been over a year for Adams. Could have scored on his international debut. Wow, what a miss. And it will be a corner kick. Truly astonishing miss there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines as it comes in. The header will end up out of play. And they'll do it again. Here comes the corner, it's headed away. Now a free kick will go back to El Salvador's They could have been down 2-1 here. A team that has been on the front foot tonight, but it just seems like it hasn't been clicking. It hasn't been maybe what it should look like for El Salvador tonight. There's just something missing with this El Salvador side. Some young players into this squad this time around. Players who have gotten appearances with the national team before. It just has not clicked so far. Trying to turn the corner, some contact there. And it'll be a free kick for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And Olex Anderson pumping up the crowd. Setting things up here, Shaq Adams with Cornelius Stewart. It will be Cornelius Stewart to stand over this. Here it comes towards goal. It was Brandon John. He got his head to it initially. Adams trying to move it forward again, and it's cleared away. St. Vincent and the Grenadines trying to use some of this momentum. What can they conjure up here? Getting the goal late in the first half, 43rd minute from Brandon John, nearly scoring, should have scored already in the second half. It's up over the top yet again. Cross coming in, dealt with by Clavel in the middle. It'll be another throw-in. This one blasted well out of play. And Ezra Hendrickson likes what he's seen from his side, clapping his hands, likes the intensity. Tired down in the middle, and it will still go El Salvador's way. Rolled forward. Enriquez up for the header, and there was some contact there away from the ball as he was going up for that. Enriquez just making contact there with Kenesha Joseph. He plays for LAUFC, the same hometown that Ezra Hendrickson is from. Here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a domestic-based player. Trying to move it down the line. It's broken up and out for another El Salvador throw-in. Bit of a slow second half so far from El Salvador. No shots. 36% of the ball. Seren lays this off. Some contact there on the far side, but get up says the referee. No whistle, and St. Vincent the Grenadines will come back the other way. And there's plenty of space to run into. Pierre, a sliding challenge put in by Cruz. There's no whistle. Pierre couldn't believe it. Ezra Hendrickson thinking the same thing. Another look at this challenge put in by Cruz. There definitely was enough force, but I'm not sure he really touched the player. He got a lot of the ball, and it was Pierre who tried to avoid the challenge. Good no call by the referee. Out of play, it's another throw-in coming. Loaded forward again, Pierre. He's been getting forward well. It's pretty much the same play that just happened, and this time it is a yellow card to Jorge Cruz. Second yellow card given to a El Salvador center back, and a free kick coming for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The momentum continuing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in this second half. Stewart setting up once again for the free kick. This one just outside the area. And two subs preparing. Santos Ortiz and Brian Landaverde as this comes in. The header back across. It's Shaq Adams. He does get his goal, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines lead 2-1. The soccer gods looking over Shaq Adams tonight on his international debut. He missed a big one in the early moments of this second half. And now he gets his goal on the night. It is 2-1 as St. Vincent and the Grenadines have come from behind. Just hung up to the back post. Brandon John there to win it again. A goal and an assist for the defender. And Shaq Adams, that has to feel so good for him. Touching it over the line. And subs coming. It's the end of the night for Rafael Tejada. And will also be the end of the night for Darwin Seren. The captain will be coming off. Brian Landaverde and Santos Ortiz will be coming on. A couple of domestic-based players. And all of a sudden, David Doniga now needing his team to come from behind. What a game this has turned out to be. St. Vincent and the Grenadines have turned it on its head. The underdogs even at home. Where does El Salvador go from here? They've already now used 2 substitution windows and 4 subs. They only have 1 more alteration to make tonight. There's David Doniga. Olex Anderson tripped up. Yellow card coming. And that goes to Teresa Benitez. 3 defenders now on yellow cards. This time the 22-year-old gets booked. Just kind of kicked out at him, and boy, that wasn't a lot of playing the ball there, but it's not a red card. It's just a yellow for Benitez as he lashed out there at Anderson. Free kick, kept it low this time. El Salvador wants to go quickly. And again, nothing doing. Right now in the live standings, it's St. Vincent the Grenadines that would take the top spot in the group. Both teams unbeaten coming into play tonight, but St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they were tripped up in match day 1 against Bonaire, 1-1. This cross dealt with and put out of play. A throw-in for Alexander Lorine. Lorine blocked, out of play. Lorine down the line. Enriquez is that free roll for this El Salvador side, the experienced El Salvador international. Enriquez. Martinez clips it up. A header by Brandon John pretty much puts it right back into the middle. Lorine, fortunate deflection. Lorine, he goes down. There's no whistle. Clean challenge by Tristan Marshall. And out of play. Yellow card will be coming out here for taking too much time. I believe that goes to Tristan Marshall. So a time-wasting yellow card. So Marshall has his name taken. One back in a good area. Trying to take this from distance. Floated forward. Enriquez trying to get onto it past the midway point of this second half, and right now El Salvador trying to now come from behind. They're the team that got the first goal in this game as Lorine keeps it on the deck. Couldn't squeeze it through. Lorine again. Floated forward. The header away by Brandon John. He has played a big game tonight. A goal and an assist. It's been big on the back line, but now he's down. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. It's a goal. It's an equalizer. Santos Ortiz. Oh, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they give one away here. Ortiz gets the goal for El Salvador to level things at 2. On the drop ball, Lemus Christopher, just a missed touch. And how about that challenge that he puts in? It was clean. And then it was the easiest goal that he'll ever score. What a moment for El Salvador. Ortiz, who just has a handful of caps in his career. He has not played for the national team since 2020. He's never scored for the national team until tonight. What a moment for the 34-year-old, the journeyman. He's played almost his entire career for Águila. Started his first couple of years back in 2013 through 2015 with Dragón. This will be a whistle here to stop play. And all of a sudden, it is 2-2. All of a sudden, all that momentum that was going in the favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines has just been given right back. Floated forward, Stewart. It's a foul against Stewart. This one played back for Lemus Christopher. Comes in, a couple of El Salvador players run into each other. Now a throw in for Tristan Marshall. He's got to be careful now as he's on that yellow card for time wasting. And now subs coming, and a few of them. Kyle Edwards will be coming on, and so will Trey Crosby. Edwards, the 27-year-old, is 27th cap, currently plays for Hartford Athletic. Trey Crosby also entering. So 2-2, where do we go from here? This has been a back and forth game. It's been a very entertaining game. There were 4 goals scored in the last matchup between these two back in June. That was in World Cup qualifiers, not Nations League, but it was still played right here. It was a 3-1 win for El Salvador. Stephen Pierre has exited the game for Edwards. This is played into the corner. It's also another sub there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I believe it's DL Spring who is exited. A free kick going El Salvador's way. And they can take their time on this one. Enriquez and Alexander Loreen, two of the experienced players on this team. Enriquez delivers, not enough height on it. Cleared away. And this will go back the other way. Nothing doing for El Salvador. This has been a very tough go of it in this second half. Just 2 shots, one of them on target. And how about Santos Ortiz, who has gotten El Salvador back level? Just a hard-working play. The substitute, the 34-year-old, handful of caps for El Salvador in his career. Not many in competitive matches, mostly in friendlies. He's been the story tonight. This is touched ahead. Christopher staying on his line. It comes to the end line. It stays in play. A chance to cross. It's bouncing around. Who's coming to claim it? It's St. Vincent and the Grenadines momentarily. And now El Salvador get it back. Flipped over the top towards the end line. The centering pass is just a bit too tall. Looking for Castillo and cleared away. And a yellow card is coming. That will go to Trey Crosby, the substitute who just came on. It's right through the legs there of Enriquez. Now a player down for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What a game Brandon John has played as he gets back to his feet. Goal, assist, solid defensive performance as well. And a sub coming. That's the end of the night for Brandon John. 4th sub, 2nd window. We'll see Jamal York come on, the 32-year-old earning his 30th cap tonight for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Floated forward. Now coming back into the middle, flicked header, cleared away. It's still available for El Salvador. Appeals for handball, but they still have possession. Enriquez has the shot blocked. Comes back through the middle, and there is Lemus Christopher to hold on to it. Quick whistle and another free kick for El Salvador. St. Vincent and the Grenadines slowing things down at the moment, making things difficult for El Salvador, but El Salvador getting some opportunities now. They haven't much in this half. Loreen delivers, back post. Header comes back in the middle. Coming together, and it will go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's Santos Ortiz, who stayed down there momentarily. He got an elbow to the face, and boy, that's Trey Crosby. He got bailed out here, but he was the one that just picked up the yellow card to substitute. A foul as Shaq Adams goes down, and another free kick, and it's another yellow card. This one to Alexander Loreen. Now a set-piece opportunity for Cornelius Stewart. Stewart delivers. Gonzalez off his line, the header out of play. They're missing their set-piece specialist in Brandon John. Not so much the taker, more on the receiving end. He scored a corner. He's assisted another on a set piece tonight. Sent up Fields. Some contact, and Enriquez, he won't be booked here, but it is a foul. 8 minutes to go. This game very much there for the taking for either side, although the second half has come in waves. St. Vincent and the Grenadines were controlling things until the goal that El Salvador scored just came out of absolutely nothing. Hard challenge put in by Santos Ortiz. He scores a tap-in. Now El Salvador found a bit of momentum. Enriquez lays it off and moves it ahead. Benitez into the corner. This one cut back. Chance to cross, the header away. Loreen just trying to get in a dangerous area. There was nothing on. Ortiz, the goal scored tonight. Ortiz fouled. And Ortiz is staying down here. Pressure coming from behind from, that was Kenesha Joseph. And a sub on the way. It's the end of the day for Cornelius Stewart. 71st cap today. Coming on, Zeno Solomon. The all-time leader in caps exits the field, Cornelius Stewart. And it's a free kick coming. Coming towards goal, and it's just wide. Deflection on it. Corner kick El Salvador. How can they use a set piece to their advantage? They play it short. Enriquez gets the return. Looking to play this down the line into the box. Ortiz throws his body at it again. Well, he is not afraid of the contact. That is for certain. And it has been that sort of night for David Doniga. Now El Salvador trying to go quick. They go over the top. Maybe something on here, and it's off the post and in! El Salvador retake the lead. It's the youngster Francis Castillo. His first international goal, and the twists and turns continue. 3-2. They went quick off a set piece. Castillo was making the run over the top. And would you look at that off the inside of the post? It's a great finish from a very tough angle. El Salvador, they led in this game, then they trailed, now they lead again. And now Castillo needs a moment. They still have one remaining sub, and he also came on as a sub. Oh, what a tough night this has been now for Ezra Hendrickson. The youngster Francis Castillo. Castillo just scored this goal. Came back to midfield and immediately went down. The referee helps him back to his feet. I'll see if Castillo's okay to continue on. Doesn't look like a sub is preparing. And now we're getting late, and now St. Vincent and the Grenadines all of a sudden, after they scored 2 unanswered goals, El Salvador scored 2 unanswered goals of their own. Back to play. Here we go. Not much time remaining. And Castillo readying to come back on here. Move down the line, the cross coming in and put out of play. That's a corner kick on the way. St. Vincent the Grenadines have been great on set pieces. Both of their goals have come from set pieces tonight, but the man who's scored and set them up is no longer on the field, including their free kick taker in Cornelius Stewart. Brandon John has a goal and an assist tonight. He's not on the field anymore. Came off with an injury. Shaq Adams delivers, back post, knotted down, and then cleared away. That is great work from El Salvador defensively. Now this runs out of play. El Salvador in no rush to take this. 4 minutes. That is all that remains in this game. El Salvador trying to remain a perfect 3 for 3. Remember, these teams will reconvene on Sunday in El Salvador. Foul against Loreen, and the El Salvador bench did not agree with that decision. Another clearing header. This is not going to be the prettiest performance in the world by El Salvador, but winning on the road in Concacaf is never easy nor straightforward. And 3 points, 3 goals. That would be a job done for David Doniga, even if they still have some things to work out, which I think he would be the first to admit they do. Second goal coming. It was a well-earned goal, but it was a bit of a fluky goal. And the second goal was just catching St. Vincent the Grenadines out. All of a sudden, they've gotten themselves back in front after St. Vincent the Grenadines had all the momentum early in the second half. Far touchline. One more sub ready to come on. Adan Climaco. Not much time left. St. Vincent the Grenadines have to send everything forward. That ball did go out of play. Shaq Adams could not keep it in. Adams could have had 2 goals tonight. He at least got himself 1. And the sub, Alexander Loreen, will be exiting. Adan Climaco will enter. He's for Santos de Guapiles in Costa Rica. Sent forward. Marshall wins the header. Enriquez goes down. Free kick. That's just a veteran play there by Enriquez, drawing the foul against Kyle Edwards. A couple of USL championship players right there. We're through the 4 minutes. There can't be much time left now. Played into the corner. Goal kick coming. It's all up to O'Shea Nation now how much longer he wants to play this one. And that is full time. What a road win for El Salvador. They scored the opening goal. St. Vincent the Grenadines took a lead, but 2 unanswered goals from El Salvador. And El Salvador a perfect 3 for 3 in their opening 3 Nations League matches. What a performance tonight, a gutsy performance tonight by La Selecta. But they get the victory here in Kingstown. It's full time. St. Vincent and the Grenadines 2, El Salvador 3.
information incoming. And then I'll work with that. You gonna need them?
Full-time highlights tonight. Concacaf Nations League action. League B, Group A. It's St. Vincent and the Grenadines taking on El Salvador. Second time these two nations playing each other here in 2024. The first coming in World Cup qualifiers. And now here tonight, the first of two matches over the next few days in Concacaf Nations League. A match with a lot of twists and turns, unexpected moments. El Salvador on the front foot early on, forcing a save. Olex Anderson trying to get the offense started for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but this would be the first goal of the game. Darwin Seren clips it up to the back post, and the finish there by Steven Vasquez. Vasquez, his second international goal, and a big moment to get La Selecta on the board first. Then back the other way, just before halftime, Brandon John with the header down. It sneaks by Mario Gonzalez and into the back of the net to make it a 1-1 game going into the break. Brandon John played a big part in this game tonight. As play continued on, there would be a halftime whistle in this one. And come the second half, more big moments in the game, and what a chance this was for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The square ball, and how this was missed by Shaq Adams, I don't know. Another good save at the end of the play, but in the end, a corner kick given. Mario Gonzalez able to keep the game at 1-1. Shaq Adams would have his moments later on. And here it was. Shaq Adams would get his moment. The go-ahead goal in the 63rd minute to give St. Vincent and the Grenadines a 2-1 lead as he gets his moment of redemption tonight. This was an interesting moment as well. Santos Ortiz, the 34-year-old, lunging in for the challenge and then finishing it off. The coaching staff couldn't believe it. The players, they love to see it. Ortiz gets his goal. And a great moment there. And then just a few minutes later, 87th minute, over the top, Francis Castillo wins it for El Salvador. What a moment it was for La Selecta as they get the job done on the road. A big win for El Salvador, and they are perfect 3 for 3 in Nations League so far. That is it for our coverage tonight from Kingstown. For our entire crew, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long. Full-time score, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 2, El Salvador 3.